Are all men who work on Radiator scary? Let's get into it on the Derek O'Shea Show. Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show, where we discuss culture, news, politics, and more. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to tell your friends and family about the revolution. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. It means a lot to me. It seriously does. And I appreciate you so much. If you have any questions or comments, you want to contact me, feel free to call or text me at 720-727-7572. That's 720-727-7572. I would greatly appreciate it. You can text me or you can call me and leave a message like a boomer. Also, if you want to support my show, I'd greatly appreciate it. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. That's buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. It means the world to me. It's $3 a month to be a member. The links are always in my bio and the show description. And I appreciate all you guys that do. Shout out to Justin, who just became a member. I appreciate you. Let's get into the news. Ohio college student apparently is angry and scared after cisgender men installed radiator in dorms in the safe space. The work crew at Oberlin College was installing radiators in a safe space for women and transgender persons, and a student complained about it. And you might think to this, Derek, this is a nothing story. This is literally just a dumb kid or a weak-minded kid or whatever you want to say that just can't handle facts about life. I'm going to push back on that because I think there's more to this story that tells a lot about our culture, tells a lot about where we are as a society, and tells a lot about this next generation of kids coming through in college. They're not that far behind me, but they're in college. So I've been working in education for a long time. I just recently got out because I just couldn't do it anymore. We're catering to kids so much in our education system now. You don't want to stand for the flag? Don't stand for the flag. You don't want to do this assignment? It's too scary? That's okay. We'll take you out of here. Is this assignment too hard? We'll put you in a 504 plan. Is this too scary? Like, I used to be a SPED teacher. I used to work with special education kids. I love these kids. But there was a lot of these kids that didn't need to be on this plan. There were a lot of these kids who just didn't want to do the work. And their parents were freaking out. And they used the 504 plans and, just the plans. Those of you who don't know what a 504. So kids that need extra help in schools, they'll get on a plan. And they'll send a special education teacher like myself to help basically be a tutor within the class. And I would have kids that didn't need to be on these plans. I would have kids that absolutely did. But the kids that didn't were just parents that were freaking out, and they would allow kids to just dictate and do whatever they want. They basically used me as a free tutor within the school system. They beat the system. But we've developed kids and ask them constantly, what do they want? What do you need? And cater to them constantly. We've created a weak generation of children who don't know the phrase, just grow up or work through it or figure it out yourself. We don't do that anymore. And we did the same thing with bullies, where the kids would come run and scream to us, and they would never learn how to deal with it themselves. I mean, I remember this really specific example when I was working with middle school students. This girl who was in 6th grade was getting picked on by all the boys. She was probably the prettiest 6th grade girl, so I'm sure they were flirting with her. But they were constantly picking on her and constantly slapping her legs, and it was a lot of inappropriate stuff. And it came to me, I didn't see it in person, but she came up to me and told me. And before I intervened, I thought, you know what? This is a great building block as a man to figure out what to do. She had an older brother in 8th grade that apparently was just allowing it to happen. Apparently didn't know how to stop it. And I remember pulling him out of class and pulling him into the hallway and saying, I'm hearing stories about your sister being bullied, slapped, and I'm not sure if this is true. Is it true? And he said, yes. And I said, are you watching it happen? He said, yes. I said, bro, you need to lay a smackdown to this. This is your sister. I will be happy to intervene, and I will stop it. But I think this is an opportunity for you as a man to grow and stand up for your sister. I don't care if you don't like her, but this is your blood. You need to stand up for your sister and do what's right. And I'll back you on that. And he was like, are you okay with doing that? Because I think you should, as an older brother. This is your job to stand up for your sister. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I should have been doing that. I said, that's okay, man. But this is an opportunity to grow. And I think this will be really good for you. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I should. And he stand up for all his friends, and the kid stopped doing it. He laid the smack down on a kid. And I didn't punish him as much because that kid deserved it. And because this was an opportunity for him to grow as an adult. But most teachers that I worked with thought that was insane. They thought, why don't you just handle it? I thought, no, because these people need to turn into adults at some point in their life, don't they? We've created a generation that is so soft, that looks to the higher power, that looks to whoever's in authority for the answers. And I think you're seeing it play out through this pandemic, and you're seeing it play out in schools. That we created safe spaces for kids. Kids don't need safe spaces. The whole point of college is that you go there to learn. You go there to be uncomfortable. You go there to grow. You go there to learn new things that make you uncomfortable. But we're creating things like, we'll take away grades. Oh, grades are racist. Grades are this, and that. We'll take away. What do you need? What else do you need? We need safe spaces. Okay, we'll get a safe space. What else do you need? Oh, we need a multicultural center that's centered around just POCs, aka not white people allowed, unless you're an ally of some capacity. We've created these spaces to take away from the realities of life. And so kids like this that are in these safe space houses, it might sound like a good idea. It might make you feel good on the inside. But when they need something installed, a white cisgender or a white, I don't even know if it's a white guy, a cisgender men. So it could be anyone. A straight male comes in and fixes the problem, which statistically makes complete sense. Right? I'm sure these kids are like, can't we hire a female? And they're like, we don't have a female that works on radiators in this area. Like, well, can we fly one in? Can we ship one in? These kids are so weak, and colleges bow down to this kind of stuff. They're like, oh, you're a protected class. You can't speak out against our institution, or else we're going to get bad press, and that's not okay. Let's read a little bit of the story. A student at Oberlin College in Ohio at all places, described being scared and angry after the school announced a work crew would be installing radiators in a safe space dormitory. Well, why don't you just install it? Huh? Oh, because you don't know how to. Radiators in a safe space dormitory for women and trans students, explaining the crew would be likely cisgender men. I was angry and scared and confused. Well, you can maybe just leave the area. I don't know. That's what I would tell them. If cisgender men really scare you, go to Starbucks while they're installing. Go to any coffee shop. Why did the college complete the installation over the summer when the building was empty? Why couldn't they tell us precisely when the workers would be there? Why were they only notifying us the day before installation was due to begin? Oberlin student Peter Frey Witzer wrote an op-ed publisher in the college. So this kid has felt so emboldened to talk about this because anyone with a logical mind, anyone that knows the realities of life is hard. Life sucks. You meet a lot of a-holes in the world. You just do. You can call them whatever word you want, racist, but there is just a lot of jerks out there. Hurt people, okay? It sucks, okay? It sucks. It's not the best thing. It's not a good outcome, okay? This kid felt so emboldened about this experience that he felt like it was justified to write it down, and putting it out there, knew no one was going to make fun of him. In fact, people will rally around him. Maybe start a GoFundMe. Maybe start wearing shirts. I support Peter Frey. Instead of having a conversation, maybe saying, this isn't a good look. Maybe saying, grow up. I don't know. Work it out. Maybe learn how to install radiators yourself. The student said he grew up concerned because he had not heard of the installation plans before the school email was sent out October 7th. Look, I was in a dorm and our AC sucked. And it was just terrible. So be happy you even have that. He explained that the crew would likely be cisgender men entering Baldwin College, which is a home for a safe space for women and transgender persons. In general, I am very averse to people entering my personal space. See, and that's another thing. We've created an entire generation of kids who don't know how to interact with strangers. I mean, I would go up to kids, shake their hands, or say hello, and sometimes parents would just allow kids not to say hello back to me, and they would just go, I don't know. He's scared. Your kid's in 8th grade. It's time to say hello back. It's time to greet people. It's time to learn some stuff. We have parents that are so removed from their children. They just don't even. You can do whatever you want. How's your feelings? Are your feelings okay? Are you having an okay day? I'm going to hug you. I'm going to see everything. And there's nothing wrong with being an attentive parent or a loving parent, obviously. But these kids, I'm telling you, this generation coming through, a lot of kids don't even know how to have a conversation with a stranger. That's why you see blog posts like this. That's why you see people walking out on Dave Chappelle's special. Just so ridiculous. They're just so weak. They don't want to turn off the TV. They think if it's out there, it's going to attack me. The anxiety was compounded by the fact that the crew would be strangers. And they were more likely to be cisgender, more than likely. See, he wrote this and didn't even know. Peter, you're just assuming, huh? How about that? It could be gay men. You don't know that. You're not even willing to have a conversation with people. All you see is strangers, and I'm assuming they're probably white because most of this kind of stuff gets assumed when you're a white male. The work crew eventually showed up at the dorm. At Frey, Weiser described he saw immediately that they were all men. Where are your women? Don't you hire them? We try to. We put out females for hire and no one came. It was clear the college had not made a special request for male workers not to be allowed into the upper floors of the Baldwin, the student continued. Who's going to fix the radiators, Peter? Frey Wither asked every representative of the college who he called Polo Man because he was wearing a neat polo. What? Who accompanied the crew and if he could reject getting the radiator installed. The college emissary apparently said no, and the student left for class and allowed the work crew to make the dorm improvements. Hey, can you not install this? No, bro, I've already been paid, and I would like to get paid, and you're not the boss of me, so I'm going to go ahead and install it. God, this kid. The cojones on this next generation that think they can just get whatever they want, whenever they want, and ask for crazy things is very true. Seriously. They think that they can just ask, and they'll, polo shirt, you're not installing this radiator. I'm sorry. You're not paying me. I pay for the go to the school, so essentially I'm the boss of you. By the time I had come back, they appeared to be done. Though Polo Man warned me that they would return later in the week to check installation. Sure enough, they were back the next day. I felt mildly violated and a little peeved. I just can't even with this next. Free Witzer said that he asked how the other students in the dorm felt about the work crew, with many complaining about messes, noise, and other typical complaints accompanying construction projects. Were you guys triggered by all the loud noises, the banging and such? Others noted that they didn't feel comfortable with how the school had handled the installation. I understand, of course, the installations are routine. The college needs to improve the facilities occasionally. Who am I to stand in the way of that? I don't know. Ask yourself that, Peter. After all, I get a brand new spanking radiator right in time for the cold weather. But why not finish the project during the 4 months of summer when the building was unaccompanied? Berlin press office did not immediately respond to Fox News requests for comment. Of course they didn't. We have a generation of children that are getting more and more used to getting their way. And I fear for that, because the way things are ending up, the way things are going in our culture, they're going to get a reality check fast, or they're going to get angry and mad when things don't go their way. And you're going to have a lot of angry men and women, and they're going to find an outlet for that. And I don't know what it is, and that freaks me out. Because the real world, you just can't cater to people all the time. You just can't. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Derek Shea Show. Just a little doom and gloom to start your Tuesday off with. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Again, if you want to support me, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. Links in the bio. I'd greatly appreciate it. Buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. $3 a month to be a member. Again, I'm going to do a members exclusive content on there. So look out for that. Also, be a member, be a cool bro or bro-ess, or don't be a cisgender man, whatever you do. Gross. Sick. Don't be myself. Have a great day. And as always, I'll catch you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show. I'm sorry. It's just one of those days.